cook up another instrumental. You ought to give me 2 thumbs up just for this intro.
It's Bigg Vic TV.
Hey, welcome to my world.
True story. A lot of you guys are new to the channel, and a lot of you guys have been here since I was using Reason 3.0, which was about 8 years ago. I want to share a quick story of certain actions I took over the years that what I believe manifested my publishing and production deal with So Def some years ago. So let's rewind and start from the beginning. I want to show you guys what kind of grind and dedication it takes for the most part to get any official situation in the music industry. Let me take you back to the early 90s when I was a hip-hop artist in a group called the Tribe of Shabazz. We were a conscious group and would always seek out talent shows locally in Florence, South Carolina and surrounding areas. We would also take trips back and forth to Atlanta, Georgia, trying to run into industry people who would help us get a recording contract. There used to be a very popular club called the Phoenix right in the heart of Atlanta, where celebrities and entertainers would frequent on the weekends. Just so happened we found out about a talent show they were having one weekend, and we signed up. So we come back the following weekend, or it could have been 2 weeks out, and performed at the talent show. We noticed this was a hot spot for talent because on the stage we see T-Boz and Left Eye from TLC. At another table, Bobby Brown is there in the VIP section, surrounded by dozens of beautiful women. And just as if the night couldn't get any better, in walks Jermaine Dupri, who had a smash multi-platinum record with Criss Cross at the time. He just came in and walked right past me upstairs to the VIP section. This club was so lit that night. We were in music heaven. But the best part of all this was the club had 2 DJs who would rotate certain times of the night. One of those DJs just so happened to be Little John, who is now known as the King of Crunk. We caught Little John outside, the club during one of his breaks. We pulled out the marijuana, formed a rotation cipher, and there began our relationship. A year or so passes by, and we find out Lil Jon is now an A&R for So Def Recordings, and they have an office location on Peachtree Street. So, what did we do? Of course, we stopped by and asked for Lil Jon. He comes out in the lobby, kicks it with us for about 20 minutes or so. But the entire time that I'm there, I'm visioning myself working in some type of capacity with the label. If I can remember, I believe we may have given him some music back then. But even back then, I would also collect magazines like The Source, XXL, Scratch Magazine, The Vibe, which would sort of be my connection to the inner world of the business. I remember reading credits on the remix Lil Jon produced. So we talked briefly about that record, which was one of his first placements at that time. We stayed in touch. Now, so I'm fast forward a year or so later. I'm in Atlanta shopping my Artist Crimes project at Rowdy Records, who was owned by Dallas Austin, and he had Eric Sermon's artist Illegal sign, which was Jamal and Malik. I figured crime would be a perfect fit there. So Dallas wasn't in the office, so we drive over to DARP Studios to see if we could catch him coming out of the studio. We caught someone else going in and asked could they give Dallas the record, had the 12-inch. So, see guys, there's something in every business called sweat equity. I was willing to burn gas, travel, and show up unannounced to make my dream a reality on less than a shoestring budget. Fast forward, early 2000s. So Def is seeking new talent and is looking for a new artist or group to sign. Just so happened, our city and state is on that list for a local scouting talent show, and I'm managing the hip-hop group Black Rain at the time. I walk in and see who's in there as one of the judges, and guess who is sitting at the table? My man, Lil Jon. He gets up, we shake hands, talk briefly, catch up. Black Rain enters the contest and wins the chance to perform at the final talent show in Atlanta with other groups from other states. This was JD's How Can I Be Down birthday weekend in Atlanta. All expenses were covered by So Def for our weekend stay at the Hyatt Regency. Listen, when I tell you guys everybody who was somebody was in Atlanta that weekend, you name the artist or group that was buzzing at the time, they were there. Even a slew of actors and actresses were in attendance. This was possibly one of the most epic moments in my music career prior to being signed. This was the get out and network era. No one was sitting on the computer and hoping someone would discover them. You see, guys, this entire time, this motion picture is playing in my mind that I would be working in some capacity in Atlanta with a label. But it wasn't clear at the time which company. This was before I knew anything about the law of attraction or being able to manifest my destiny. I was just someone who was focused, hungry, and wanted to make it. So back to the story. I remember being backstage in the dressing room area with Black Rain right before they performed. And Jermaine Dupri was standing right beside me. We spoke and he headed back out. He still had no clue who I was until this day. I've never mentioned this story to him. Black Rain didn't win. They gave the group group out of Tennessee had won, and we just enjoyed the rest of our weekend in Atlanta with all the major events that were connected to the talent show. I used this as a networking opportunity to exchange business cards and, of course, build some new relationships. It was about networking. Black Rain had an album out at that time, and we gave out some CDs, I even handed one to Chris Lighty of Violator Management, rest in peace, and also Ice Cube. You see, during this time, I would often attend music seminars like the Vibe Music Seminar, Jack the Rapper, which was also held in Atlanta, to network and build those contacts and relationships. Every success has been built off establishing strong relationships. So let's fast forward to the YouTube era, and JD now has another contest searching for music production for an artist he signed named Q the Kid for his upcoming mixtape. They created a YouTube video and gave out an email address that we could submit music to. So I said to myself, there would be so many beats being submitted to that email address. What could I do different that would make me stand out from every other producer that would be submitting music? I had an aha moment and decided to take one of my videos that I created on YouTube titled Reason 4.0 Beat Making Video and submit that as a video response to the video JD and Q had posted. To be honest, I submitted that video and went about my life as if they see it, they see it, if they don't, they don't. The grind won't stop. A week or so passes by and a few of my subscribers hit me up like, congrats. I ignored the first few comments because I didn't know what they were talking about. Actually forgot about it. Then another came and then another, so I said, let me respond and ask what are they congratulating me for. They said, you won the contest. Did you see the video? I said, no, what video? Said JD and Q had created another video on JD's Living a Life YouTube channel, announcing 2 producers they selected to work on his mixtape. I watched the video, and they said that the winners of the contest will get a So Def publishing deal and production deal. Couldn't believe what I was hearing. They said the winners are Reason 4.0 and Bust the Producer. I wasn't sure it was me because my name isn't Reason 4.0, but it was the title of my video. They assumed that was my name. I still was in disbelief until Q the Kid sent me a message a day later on my MySpace page. He said, congrats. He needs me to send him my contact info. That's when it hit me. This shit is for real. I sent Q that info. He called me 10 minutes later and was telling me that he and JD were in the studio checking out some of my videos on my channel. Guys, do you realize this was like a defining moment in my music career? After Q and I chopped it up on the phone for a minute, he said he was giving JD my info. 2 days later, JD's assistant calls me to get my information, along with my attorney's info, to get the paperwork started. This was an incredible experience for me. I can remember being in the studio with Brian Michael Cox, JD, Jonte Austin, and Dondria. It was at that moment I had an out-of-body experience. JD introduced me as one of his new producers. I'm sitting in the same studio I was watching them have fun in, on the same YouTube channel I had submitted my video to. Not to mention the advance he gave me when I signed the deal. It wasn't too shabby for a new producer with only one production credit to his name at the time. But here's the entire point to this video. I had become obsessed with seeing my dream become a reality. I had already put in the sweat equity for 16 years. I had already become a student of the game. It's kind of funny how the first book I read on the music industry just so happened to be Jermaine Dupri's attorney, Donald Passman, who wrote the book, Everything You Need to Know About the Music Industry. You see, guys, I wasn't sitting at home just hoping someone would see me or recognize my talent. I was out taking all-out massive action. And now that we are in the internet age, there's no excuses. I once heard someone say, trying is failing with honor. You either make it happen or you don't. If this video does nothing else, guys, I hope it will help light just a little extra fire under you to make you get back hungry if you've fallen off the wagon just a little bit. Drop those comments below. Don't forget to smash that thumbs up button and share this video if you think someone could use this as motivation to pursue their dreams. Until the next time, fam, it's your man Bigg Vic. Always hustle, never stop growing. Peace.